Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is Kawhi Leonard secretly the most powerful man in the NBA? So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Please make sure you go ahead and hit that notification button to ensure that you get you see the videos when they come out, because sometimes they don't. So please make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our content once it comes out. Also, be sure to check out our Dreamerspro Max. It's an online sports community that we created. It's a place where you can go and start basketball discussions, chat live during games, go with us live after games, consume original content that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else, and so many other cool things as well as win a month, have an opportunity to get monthly giveaways. So if you guys want to be a part of that, make sure you go ahead and check that out and get 7 days of free access. We have that linked in the description below. A lot of people have been signing up recently, and I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun given the fact of how the NBA season is going. I'm sure you guys are going to want to interact with each other and just share our opinions on how things are going. So anyway, check that out. We have that in the description below. Let me get back to this topic here. So 2 seasons ago, Kawhi Leonard, in my opinion, and I think in the opinion of many people, proved that he was the most powerful man in the NBA. Okay, let's go back a little bit. After coming off his second championship with the Toronto Raptors, he had the most leverage of any player I've seen in the NBA, probably in the last 15 or 20 years, right? He had the most leverage. Why? Because he had just won his second NBA title with a team that had never won an NBA title, and he was only there as a rental. Remember, he was traded from the San Antonio Spurs to the Toronto Raptors. A controversial decision at the time, at least in Toronto, because remember, Masai Ujiri had promised DeMar DeRozan that he was going to keep him there. So when he was able to make that trade, a lot of people were like, are you sure you want to trade DeMar DeRozan, given the fact that this guy wants to be here for somebody that may potentially only be a 1-year rental? He went and pulled the trigger on that trade. He swung big and he won big, right? Credit to Masai Ujiri. They pulled off that trade. They got Kawhi Leonard. They won their first NBA title, and Kawhi Leonard was on top of the world, right? He was the man in the NBA, and everybody wanted to know where was Kawhi Leonard going to go after winning his NBA title. Some people speculated that he was going to stay with the Toronto Raptors. Other people thought he was going to go with the Los Angeles Lakers to go play with LeBron James. And then the third team was the Los Angeles Clippers. These were the 3 main players, right? Now, a lot of people assume that, listen, if he wanted to ensure that he won another title, go sign with the Los Angeles Lakers. They already had LeBron James, a top 10 player of all time. They already had Anthony Davis, one of the best players in the NBA. So if you go sign with them, you're guaranteed to win another NBA title, right? But Kawhi Leonard kept a lot of the NBA in suspense. No one really knew what he was going to do, and up until the last moment, a lot of people felt that, listen, he was going to go to the Los Angeles Lakers. That's what a lot of people felt. Shannon Sharp was there kumbayaing and dancing there, because remember, Shannon Sharp supported Kawhi Leonard. He loved the idea of Kawhi Leonard coming to play with the LeBron James, because he's going to help his man get another title. And for sure, if he had gone to go play with the Los Angeles Lakers and he won another title, they'll be saying it was LeBron James that won another title. No way in hell they're going to give a Finals MVP to Kawhi Leonard, even if he played the best. There's no way in hell they're going to give a Finals MVP to Kawhi Leonard over LeBron over LeBron James. So he kept all of us at the edge of our seats. And then at the very last moment, Kawhi Leonard decided that, listen, you know what? I'm going to go sign with the Los Angeles Clippers. He took everybody for a ride. No one thought. They knew it was a possibility, but we all felt he was either going to go back to Toronto or with the Lakers, because they were like, who did the Clippers have? The Clippers just had a bunch of role guys, so why would Kawhi Leonard go to the Clippers by himself, knowing that he's going to need more help, given the fact that LeBron had AD, so why would he go to the Clippers on his own? So he shocked all of us when he signed with the Los Angeles Clippers, but then he pulled off the boss move of them all by not only signing with the Los Angeles Clippers, but making them force the hand of Paul George to break his contract, who had just signed a contract with the Oklahoma City Thunder, breaking his contract and getting Paul George to come with him to the Los Angeles Clippers. In that one power play, Kawhi Leonard proved that he was the most powerful man in the NBA without saying a single word. Kawhi is not on social media. You don't hear anything from Kawhi Leonard, but in the background, he was pulling a lot of strings, and no one knew that Kawhi Leonard had that type of pull. And I think after that move, after the Clippers landing Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, he flexed his muscle and showed the league that, listen, I'm the most powerful man in the NBA, because he had the most leverage in the NBA. But after the Clippers went to the second round, lost to the Denver Nuggets, blowing that 3-1 lead, Kawhi Leonard has just been under the radar. No one is really talking about him this season. No one is really mentioning his name. But the first sign that showed me that Kawhi Leonard might still be the most important or the most powerful player in the NBA still was the acquisition of Serge Ibaka during the offseason. And we all remember the famous line that he used. What's the line? Bro, he goes, what's up? Bro, are you coming or not? That was the line. That's all it took for Serge Ibaka to say, you know what? I want to go play with Kawhi Leonard. It was that simple. And before you knew it, they had Kawhi Leonard. They had just signed a center that had just won the NBA title. He was now going to be playing with the Los Angeles Clippers just like that. And as the season was going on, the Clippers were doing okay. They started off hot, and then they kind of simmered down a little bit. They weren't playing very well. And it became glaringly obvious that the Clippers still were in need of an upgrade to at the point guard position. This was one of the things that we knew was kind of holding this team back. So behind the scenes, Kawhi Leonard was working his magic, just like last season, giving off false flags, blowing smoke in the opposite direction, having people think one thing, when in reality he was working on something else. Why? Because towards the trade deadline, the major players that we thought the Clippers were going to go after was either Kyle Lowry or Lonzo Ball. These were the two main names. These were the two names that we kept on hearing the team would go after. Kyle Lowry, he sold his house. Kyle Lowry, he's going to be the guy that the Clippers are going to be going after. Kyle Lowry. That was the guy that they wanted. And then at the 24th hour, at the very last minute, while we were live, I was live on the other channel, we found out that the Clippers now ended up getting Rajon Rondo. And I was just like, how the hell did this happen? No one saw Rajon Rondo coming. The only time I heard about Rajon Rondo possibly being available was on the final day of the NBA trade deadline. Now, I'm sure some insiders knew, but I didn't know that Rajon Rondo was going to be a piece, and potentially a piece to go sign with the Los Angeles Clippers. And once again, I think Kawhi Leonard proved once again that he's still the most powerful guy in the NBA, because Rajon Rondo could have gone to any team. But he decided to go play with Kawhi Leonard. And there's no way in hell you're going to make me believe that Kawhi Leonard didn't play a role in the Clippers acquiring Rajon Rondo to come play with them, and now basically ensuring them at least a shot to at least make it to an NBA Finals, because now they have no weaknesses. The Clippers have no weaknesses on their team right now. No glaring weaknesses I can point to, except one could say, okay, maybe Paul George, given the fact that Paul George hasn't delivered in the playoffs, and over the last 2 years, he hasn't really broken through and helped the team get to the NBA Finals. Maybe that's kind of the last question mark that the Clippers have. But as far as from a personnel standpoint, if you kind of comb through their roster, you can't really see any weaknesses, right? And you have to sit back and say to yourself, did Kawhi Leonard just do it again? Because for sure he had a role to play in it. And in my opinion, I still believe that Kawhi Leonard just proved that quietly, he is still the most powerful man in the NBA. He doesn't need to talk a lot. You're not going to see him on social media. He's a man of few words. He doesn't say much, but when he does make a move, the NBA landscape always moves around. And in the end, the Clippers ended up getting their man in Serge Ibaka and Rajon Rondo. And the best part of it all is they ended up getting Rajon Rondo on the cheap. Rajon Rondo is going to get all of his money with the Atlanta Hawks. So the Clippers ended up getting the point guard that they wanted in the very end. And trust me, you better believe that Kawhi Leonard had a role in that decision. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you think Kawhi Leonard has proved once again that he's still the most powerful man in the NBA? Or do you think it's somebody else? Do you think it's LeBron James or another player? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, it's just Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day. Catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.